my Shahada in Ramadan 2024. It's now Ramadan 2025. And this video is solely about why I took my Shahada. That's the question everyone keeps asking. Why Islam? I started to question life. I feel like it was one of the worst times in my life. I'm going through a lot mentally. We're all believing God, but my family is Catholic. I want all of my friends, that just have never been in the mosque before to just experience that. Or just anyone watching this to experience going in the mosque. I've gone in there one time, and the feeling I got was like no other. Nothing I've ever experienced in my life. Go to Friday prayers and you'll see what I mean. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name's Jamal, aka Nighties. I've been Muslim for a year now. I took my Shahada in Ramadan 2024. It's now Ramadan 2025, day 9. I'm fasting right now, waking up, doing Fajr, training, filming vlogs, just living my purpose, reading the Quran, feeling good right now. And this video is solely about how I took my Shahada, why I took my Shahada, why I became Muslim, and how it's going. So I want to take you lot back to a time where I was young. I always believed in God first and foremost. I used to speak to God when I was a little kid, I remember that. I even remember feeling upset sometimes as a kid and directly looking up to. I would look above and speak to God. I'd be angry sometimes as a kid, like, oh, why did this happen, God? So I always had a connection with God first and foremost. I was brought up Catholic, so I was baptized as a kid. I was brought up by my mum. I remember my dad being in my life within the household when I was really young, before my sister was born. I remember little memories like my dad throwing me up in the air, catching me, and my mum being like, don't do that. And like, I just remember like silly little memories like that. I also remember my dad taking the mattress off of the top bunk and sleeping downstairs. And getting older, I realized that there was turmoil going on in the family household, and I just remember him just not being around. But I was brought up Catholic. When I was baptized, my mum and my dad was there. They was together at this point. My sister was just born as well. She was a baby. So it was around this time when there was a lot of going on in the household. And then, my dad just left. Typical story, really. Growing up in the hood, there was a lot of like family trauma, domestics going on. It's all I was used to, really. So I'd always have my conversations with God a lot when I was younger. He was always in my heart. But I didn't really understand what this whole life was until you get older, like a lot older later on in life. I'm 32, well, I'm gonna be 32 on the 5th of April. That's when I took my Shahada in 2024 as well, on my birthday, in Ramadan. So we're gonna fast forward to a point where I started to question life. I'd say I was probably just leaving college. I was about 17, 18, 19. Definitely in my early 20s, I'd say 23, 24. These these times where I was questioning whether, I don't like to say whether God is real, but I stopped believing, and that's because I stopped believing in myself, really and truly. That's the honest answer, because now I understand life is a direct reflection of how you feel on the inside. So if you hate yourself, you don't love yourself, you reflect that outwards, and that becomes your reality on the outside. So due to certain things not going my way, certain hardships I'm going through, life kind of seamlessly being the same, I always envision myself, I'm very aspirational, very ambitious. Success is always in my vision. Not success on a small scale, success on a massive scale. So as I'm in like my mid-20s and I'm feeling like, yo, I'm still going through hardship, struggles, I'm like in the streets. I never thought I'd ever see my life going down this path. I'm a good kid at heart, you know what I'm saying? Good values, good morals, respectable, respectful. So these are the times when I was questioning God. Why did I take my Shahada? That's the question everyone keeps asking. Why Islam? It was when I went to prison. Yeah, I ended up getting caught on a case, classes, dangerous driving, and I got a 2-year sentence. My first ever offense, first ever time being arrested was catching this case. I believe I was 23, 24 years old. So I'd managed to be on some sort of straight and narrow, under the radar until this point. I was getting locked up a lot. I feel like it was one of the worst times in my life. I was going through a lot mentally. I was just a kid that wanted his dad in it. I was just a broken kid. Like, I get in contact with my dad after like 8 years, 10 years. There's a lot of periods out of my life where I wouldn't see my dad, and I just get let down over and over and over again. And you kind of, as the son, you need your dad. And despite what anyone said about my dad, I'd always like want to be in his life. I've got siblings that are like half brothers and sisters that I just never had a relationship with, and it used to like proper beat me down, like affect my confidence a lot. My communication skills was like zero. Like, I won't communicate with people effectively. I just bury my emotions. I go in moods. Like, it really affected my self-esteem as a human being. So yeah, round this path, I had got back in contact with my dad after getting locked up, coming out of the cells. Basically, my mum kicked me out. I was homeless. I went to go like seek my dad. Basically, he took me in, and these are the moments I was just like going through a lot of self-reflection. A lot of things I felt like at the time that I was lacking in my personality. Like, I went into a real family unit with him, his wife. It has had kids since then that were in primary school at this time. So walking into the house, seeing like a family unit blew my mind. Like, yo, like the eating at the table, the wife's cooking food, like this was obviously a normal setting for them, but I was just like, it like made me emotional every time, like thinking, yo, like I never experienced this before, you know what I'm saying? So cut a long story short, it just ended how it would always end. It didn't want anything to do with me. I was back on the road. but this time with like a real self-destruct mode. Just didn't really care about my reality, and I was upset with myself the most that I was stuck in this reality of, is this all my life has amounted to be? Anyways, caught date, bam, 2 years. I'm like, right, I remember saying to myself, right, the game begins now. It's real now. There's no time to think, oh, poor me. And then I ended up in Armley. Everyone that knows Armley, Leeds, treacherous, the dungeon, it's the castle, literally. Very rough in there, man. You're eating stale bread every day. Boiled eggs, curly noodles. The food is dire. The food is so bad. It is so bad. There's times where like I really enjoyed eating the bread, which was stale bread, yeah, with my curly noodles. I'll put my curry powder, the sachets on it, and I'll put butter on the bread. I'll just be eating it like, you know what I mean? I'd have a penguin, chocolate penguin, be hungry in there. We just had, you'd have your TV in your cell. I was with my Cody as well, so it was a blessing that I was with someone that I knew. So I'm in there now. I kind of enjoyed Armley because before I went to jail, funny enough, I was going on jail visits to see my friend who had just got 15 years. And then I ended up going into Armley, being on like, you do this induction thing where you go in a classroom and they explain bits and bats. And I left there and someone shouted my name and I felt like, yo, I'm known. Yo, I turned around, I'm like, yo, who's that? He's like, yo, it's Grizz. I'm gonna shout his name, shout out Grizz, man, my guy from Huddersfield, legend. He's like, yo, it's G. I looked, I'm like, no way, this is the same brother that I was visiting on the jail visits before. He was on remand. He got the 15 years. He was still in there. This is probably like a year and a half on, something like that. I'm like, yo, I can't believe this is like a movie. I swear it was all like a movie, but it was live. It was real life. He's Muslim as well. So I remember that. And then I ended up going from induction wing. He was like, yo, get on A wing. Went from induction wing straight to A wing, and I was on the wing with G. He gave me like a DVD player, big up some movies, Boys in the Hood and that. So I was thinking, yeah, I'm chilling. One day, cell bust. Mignot, that's my surname. Mignot, you're getting shipped out. So I believe there was 2 different jails on the cards, and then I had to go Wilston. Shout out all the man them in Wilston, the people that know Wilston. It's in Wetherby. So I went to Wilston. It's a Cat C jail, but it's really run like a Cat B. So Armley's Cat A, by the way. So yeah, I'm in Wilston now. So the frequent question, I just wanna like break this down. The frequent question is, why does everyone go to jail to find, and then they find Islam? They say it like, so, like it's not, they can't comprehend it. Like, I'll break it down. When you get locked, yeah, in such a confined space, 4 walls, you're literally sleeping next to your toilet. You're consumed by your thoughts for 23 hours a day. There's a lot of chances that you can go insane, and people like look for an escape. So I'll break it down like this. So you never get to be in an environment where it's a time where you can get more connected with yourself. Like, if you're a messy, untidy person, this is the time when you find, like, the majority of the time I'm spending in this room, let me, like, make sure my bed's, like, super tidy. I've got so much time on my hands, let me, like, buff my floor and clean, just make sure everything's, you know, like, spick and span. You get more, like, you've got so much time to do such small things that it becomes your daily habits now. And I remember people's door getting cracked open on a Friday, and sometimes I'll be looking, thinking, yo, what's going on? How come all these men are leaving the cells and that? They're like, Jumma. I'm like, what's Jumma? Saying Friday prayers. I'm like, okay. So another reason why a lot of people find Islam is that you're on the wing a lot of times with the brothers. And I've never been in an environment where I've been so close with the brothers, where they actually come into your cell to introduce you to Islam and speak to you about it, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of the man them will go in Jummah as well. So in all honesty, it started off as me just wanting an escape to just go see what it was about. At first, I was not coming to jail to be a Muslim. Like, I've heard the stereotype of that. So first and foremost, like, I'm not a follower in it, I'm a leader. So I'll be doing my workouts on the landing. And there was this one brother called Shahid. He was the brother, bless him, man. I got so much love for him. I shout him out every single time. Brother Shahid was the one that kept coming to my cell. Kind of being annoying, you know, I'm not gonna lie. Trying to speak to me about Islam, like, give me the Quran. Just always coming to my cell, have you read it? And I'm just like, but because he was such a nice guy, and he was actually genuinely a nice guy, he was just someone that was lost at the time. He just ended up getting into some trouble and sent him to prison, which led him onto the amazing journey that he's on. He's on his deen, like, super hard. And I've got to just, like, what's the word? Like, I really look up to him in that. I'm proud of him, basically. So I never read anything that he gave me. I never read the Quran, and I was just like thinking, oh, this guy, man, this guy keeps coming to my cell, man. And in this one occasion, he gave me a small pamphlet. He says, listen, you haven't read what I've given you, but just read this. It's only small. He's like, it's only small. Yeah, read this. The Scientific Miracles of Islam. Gave me that. I looked at it, I says, it is only small. I can read this and digest this, no problem. I started reading it, boom. It made sense. There and then, it made sense. I said to one of the screws, excuse me, I'm going Jummah this Friday. I'm thinking, yeah, get me out of the cell, man. Went to Jummah. Now, I've been going church. I used to hate going church, but you know, you get forced to go to church when you're young. Sunday school and that. Got to a point where there was like, this kid, he's always complaining about going to church. He don't like going to church. So get to a point where they just stop taking you in it. I was like, yes, thank you. And then I go to church now and again out of choice, and it just never resonated with me. Now, this is my personal story. I'm not gonna come here and bash Christianity, because I understand that if you believe in one God, then that's good enough for me. If you believe that one creator, the creator of all, there's one God, and you pray to him and you have a connection with him, that is good enough for me. Whether you're Christian, Muslim, whatever. So it never resonated with me anyways, looking up to like just all of these symbols and the white Jesus, knowing that he just wasn't white. it's just a simple thing to understand that I can't fight for something that is just wrong and that doesn't make sense and that's confusing and hypocritical and so many versions of this and that. It was just it was just confusing. And I believe I'm just a very straightforward, logical thinker. And if something is just not adding up, the truth is the truth. If it's not adding up to me, then I'm not going to die to defend it. And like Catholic, Christianity, all these different sections, it did put me off believing in not God, but the whole religion thing. So now when I'm in the masjid, when I'm in Jummah, when I went to Jummah, my heart just started going. I'm like, no way, like the way everyone prays, yeah, prostrates simultaneously at the same time. Like every single fine detail aspect of it is to make you a greater man in society. Bottom line, every single detail about it was just pure and beautiful. I cannot express. We're all believing God, but my family is Catholic, Christian, whatever you want to call it, yeah? And I've gone in there one time, and the feeling I got was like nothing I've ever experienced in my life. I want all of my friends, yeah, that just have never been in the mosque before to just experience that. Then if you decide that you don't want to be Muslim, you don't want to take a Shahada, that's fine, innit? That's fine. But I would love, yeah, my friends that are not Muslim to experience that, or just anyone watching this to experience going in the masjid, yeah, going in the mosque, Jummah, go to Friday prayers and you'll see what I mean. I didn't know how to pray. I didn't know anything about Islam, yeah. Before reading the Scientific Miracles of Islam, yeah, read that if you haven't read it, yeah. Please read it. It'll blow your mind. Before it, I did not know anything. Only thing I knew is that the whole Twin Towers, like how that went down, I knew that was a lie from the get-go. Yeah, I don't trust them. I do not trust them, yeah. Trying to paint Islam as terrorists. It depends what side of the fence you're looking, because if I stand on this side of the fence and look at you lot look like terrorists to me. You know what I'm saying? Just the whole, how that went down. Like I said, I'm just a kid from up north, but even I know better. I'm switched on, yeah? I know better. So I knew it wasn't what they were painting out. And then from there, I just used to go to Jummah every Friday, and then didn't know how to pray, but I just did my own little thing and just had my connection with God, and I actually felt peace and like happy, and I'd be buzzing, and it was my escape in there. So that's the whole reason why I feel like people connect with Islam in jail, because you just got more time to actually seek and find yourself in it. So then when I came back out into society, I was going to the mosque because I was still with some of the brothers that I was in there with. And then gradually I just fell off, just stopped going to the mosque, stopped praying, stopped doing all of that. And there was a time in my life soon after that where I feel like I hit rock bottom, man. I hit rock bottom in my life. I got myself into a situation where I was really, really, really unhappy with my reality. Again, just beaten down, man. Proper beaten down, like playing a victim to my circumstances and everything like that. So I ended up moving out of the apartment that I was living at. And then it was like a month in between where I needed somewhere to stay briefly while the tenancy on my new place was starting. It was like a month's gap. So I moved in with my grandma, and it took a whole 5-year journey to get where we are today. Yeah, I moved in with my grandma. This is when I started to rebuild myself, starting my calisthenics journey. And from starting the fitness journey, started the self-development, and the more further up you go, it just led me to Islam. And it's a funny thing, when I think about it and I deep it, like really diving and digging deep within and sorting out like trauma from the past and like certain personality traits I didn't like about myself, and just reflecting and forgiving myself, I was able to change and just develop like just a better character and just feel better in myself and treat people better and just have an overall understanding for life on my purpose. My purpose. I don't understand what my purpose was. Everyone's purpose is basically being able to do what you love so much in the moment. You don't acknowledge time as it passes by. So anything that you love doing that creates peace in the moment, you're not in a depressive state, you're not in an anxious state, you can do it if money didn't exist. That is your purpose. So if anyone asks you what's your purpose, that's your purpose. And when I started to just, like, I like helping people, I like speaking, I just like inspiring, motivating, like that's me. Self-development to a T, that is me. And when I started doing more of that and applying that and let go of my ego or my fears and all of these things, like these selfish things, yeah, that you project out into the world, your insecurities, I was able to just live and just not care about what anybody else thought. If anyone thinks my idea is not going to work, like that's you. That's your problem. You're deflecting your insecurities over here. We ain't got time for that. We just do in the present moment. I wasn't taking advantage of the present moment. I was stuck in a limbo of thinking too much about the future and getting anxiety and being stuck in the past and being in a depressive state and thinking about my feelings too much. When you create those daily habits, those new daily habits where you get up and go, you're grateful for life, you're just living in the moment, in the present moment, you're living out your purpose. You create that habit, you know, the 30 days where no matter how you're feeling anymore, like when you wake up, if you don't feel like doing it, you do it because you've just trained yourself to do it. You get me? It's just... You know what I'm saying? You install those new habits, you start feeling better about yourself and you stack up those wins and now you're here. I thought, you know what? Yeah, I'm on my health thing now, self-development. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do Ramadan 2024. I'm gonna do Ramadan. I've been fasting for a week tops. I did, you know what I'm saying? Fasting a week tops. So I says, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do Ramadan. I started doing Ramadan and I felt amazing. I started praying in Ramadan from day one, my 5 daily prayers. I started praying. I didn't know how to pray. I went on YouTube. I just learned it, scratch, everything. I started from the bottom. I just started praying my 5 daily prayers and I felt so at peace. I was like, I've never had a real escape in life, and Islam gave me that escape. So I completed the 30-day fast, Ramadan, 5 prayers every day, did the extra 6 days after Ramadan finished. I celebrated Eid for the first time. The brotherhood in Islam is like no other. I go inside a masjid sometimes, I want to cry, so I'm like, how do people like treat me like this? Like giving me a hug, proper, everyone's smiling, like everyone's so happy. Like I'm just thinking, yo, this is so mad. The feeling is crazy. You just get emotional, man. And I was like, this is where I belong. Like, this is what God is. You know what I'm saying? God isn't a person. God is like an energy, a frequency. You align yourself. You connect with your inner self. It's a direct reflection. What God is inside of us as well. When you connect with that, you connect with the one, the divine source that has made everything inside of this. We're spiritual beings inside of a human existence, and we're experiencing this life through energies, frequencies, and we're like sending, like, it's so weird. It's like we're experiencing this in like this 3D realm, and we're sending all of these like messages back. We're receiving all these messages, we're sending them back up to the source. Like when we pray, when we connect to ourselves, when we lock in, when we're living out our purpose. And I feel like just all the good deeds that you do, like even when you sin and you repent, like just all that all that feeling that just goes back out into the universe, back to Allah. It's like just that connection, basically. That's what I understand of it now. It's that connection, and we must live and work towards always creating that connection where Allah's just looking down, the creator of this world, this life, all the worlds, is just looking down, just like, yeah, man, you're a part of me. Like everything's a part of one. Separation's an illusion, and I'm proud of, you know, the way that you're interpreting this life, and you're putting out that energy back out there. You know what I'm saying? That's why when people go through messed up situations and they're just like so like boiled up inside of just that negativity, and they just project it out, and then everything just keeps getting worse and worse and worse in their life, they need to realize that you need to let that go. You need to forgive yourself and just learn to project out love no matter what, because that's what Allah wants for all of us. You know what I'm saying? This dunya is a test. They call it the dunya, this simulation that we're in, this 3D world. They call it a test because every day is just a realization that we were put here for a real reason. Happiness is an endless pit. You've got to work towards happiness every day. Happiness doesn't just come to you. It's not a destination. You've got to work towards happiness every day. And I feel like Islam just helped me be a better man in society today. People can see the glow, man. They can see the glow, man. I wouldn't even be speaking on camera if it weren't for Islam. Literally, man. I wouldn't be doing any of this. I won't be feeling happy within myself, man. I wouldn't be attracting like the beautiful, my partner right now. Like, she's a big inspiration right now in my life. Like, my partner, shout out my wife to be, she's Muslim as well. The friends that I've got around me, I've gained a better relationship with my mum. I feel like she understands me a bit more now. All my family like respect it. I'm the only one in my family that's Muslim. They respect it. They love me all the same. Cause you know, I was the black sheep of the family turned goat, and everything's just good, man. Alhamdulillah. Like, honestly, man, I feel so humbled, so blessed, man. And I'm just excited to see the next chapter and the next chapters in my life, and have some kids, inshallah. Get married, inshallah. Complete half of my deen. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel for more content like this. I hope that answered like questions that people may have had, and people that don't even know me, people that have just watched me for the first time. I hope that, you know, you gain some knowledge from this, and it touched you all the same, and maybe you can relate, maybe you have the similar story to me. But yeah, man, just live yours, man. Live your truth. It only gets better. Always remember that. And don't stay in that negative, depressive, anxious state. Just live in the moment. That's my best advice that I can give. Practice self-development. Forgive yourself. That's step one. And just know that each day, you don't look for the big wins. You look for the small wins, and you just stack them up. Wake up early. Give thanks. Pray Fajr if you're Muslim. Next, like, tidy your room. Make sure everything's just, cleanliness is the closest thing to godliness, as they say. Just meditate. Take time out to just work on your breathing. Like, train hard as well. Like, fitness is everything. Eat clean as well, as clean as you can. I got a sweet tooth, I can't lie. But I don't be munching down the negative, putting that negative energy inside of me. I focus on the positive stuff mostly. Get a circle around you that's like-minded, that we all get confused and lost, and we all have our down days all the time. Life's up and down like this, but you get people around you that keep you in check. You know what I'm saying? I keep them in check, they keep me in check. If I feel down, I speak to them, they make me feel better. I'm back. I feel great. I'm the man. I'm him. That's what you need around you, and you need people that are doing better than you as well. Don't be the one that knows everything. You know what I'm saying? You need to be the dumbest in the room sometimes, a lot of times. You get me? Come on. Yes, it's night. Is Jamal Omar. That's my name. Funny enough, my mum's Catholic, but she gave me a Muslim name. Big up Mumsy. Every time, I love you so much. I love my siblings so much. My nephews, my cousins. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. I'm grateful. Thanks for watching.